This is Note Taking Guide 1.10. We're talking today about car ownership and expenses. So first of all, I just want to talk about the difference between buying a car and leasing. And if you guys have anything to add to the discussion today, please make sure you do. So buying a car, this is kind of hard to read from where we're at, but in order to buy a car, you usually need a down payment. Not always do you, but what's a down payment, you guys? Yeah, so like if the car is for sale for $20,000, usually they'll ask you for some money up front. Sometimes they won't let you take out the loan for the full $20,000. Sometimes they'll only let you take it out for $18,000, so you have to put $2,000 down. That's a down payment. So that's what that's talking about. And then you get a loan for the balance. When you do that, you're going to have a monthly payment. We're going to talk about how to find that today. One of the benefits of buying a car is that you own the car when the loan's paid off. But cars do depreciate quickly. Do you guys know what it means to depreciate?
It goes down in value.
Yeah, it goes down in value, actually very quickly. Do you know that a car usually depreciates in value up to 20% the minute you drive it off of the lot that you bought it at? So if you're buying a brand new car, which right now I think that 2020 cars are out to buy, if you went and bought a brand new car off of the lot today, it would be worth 20% less tomorrow. So that's kind of crazy that that's how that works. We're going to talk about depreciation. So your car is going to depreciate in value. And then it says if you buy used, maintenance costs must be considered. So some of the other costs to consider are documentation fee. When you buy a new vehicle, they charge you to file documents for you, like the title to the vehicle, the license and registration, even though they charge you a little bit down here for title and registration too. They charge you for filing the documents for you. I've never been charged a delivery charge before, but lots of people buy cars from out of state and stuff now. So sometimes you can be charged a delivery charge. Other dealership fees, you have to be careful on that sometimes. One time I was buying a vehicle and I had already done the math to figure out what my payment would be, and the payment was about $300 more a month than I thought it was going to. When I looked at the paperwork closely before I signed it, I had found that they had added about $4,000 worth of extra fees in that they didn't tell me they were going to add in. And so we just kind of walked away and said, we're not going to buy the vehicle for that price. That's not going to happen. So just be careful when you're buying a car that dealerships don't sneak some fees in there for you, okay? Sales tax, this is an important number we're going to use throughout the worksheet and stuff today. In the state of Utah and St. George area, sales tax on a vehicle is 6.35%. You will pay for title and registration each year. It kind of tells you here how much it will be. It's $70 a year if your car is 14 years or older, $170 a year if it's 3 years or older, and $240 per year if it's a new car. And then maintenance and repairs. You just always have to set aside money for that. Can someone tell me the difference between buying a car and leasing a car?
One you have to pay more money for.
Okay, so tell me the difference between buying a house and renting a house.
Well, one of them you own and one of them you don't.
Yeah, that's exactly the same difference between buying a car and renting a car. When you're done buying a car, you own the car. When you're done leasing a car, guess what you have to do with it? Give it back. So leasing a car works for lots of situations, but you need to be careful with it because you won't own the car when you're done. So when you're leasing a car, you have to pay a monthly fee. You won't own the car when you're done leasing it. And usually they limit the mileage that you have, and you'll have penalties if you go over the limit. So one of my students in my other class earlier in the week was saying that his dad leases a car and they're over their mileage. He pays 25 cents a mile over the amount that they were told that they could use while leasing the car. And that's going to add up really fast if it's 25 cents a mile. So additional costs to consider: acquisition fees, disposition fees, documentation fees, security deposit, sales tax, title and registration, and maintenance and repairs. So really fast, let's kind of look at examples of a new car expense, just to kind of see what happens when you think you're going to spend $23,420 on a car, what it actually ends up being when you're done. So you usually pay a document fee. Sometimes there's other fees in here. I'm not exactly sure what this auto shield fee is, but it's $400 for this particular car. Sales tax is $1,476 because it was 6.35%. Registration is $232, and a tire recycling fee they charge $5 for. So when you add those all up, how much are we actually paying for our $23,000 car?
A lot.
A lot more, huh? So let's add those up and see. Someone help me. You're going to be faster than me probably.
Let me grab a calculator.
All right. If I punch that in right, I got 25,832. Did someone else get that?
So we're just adding all that?
Yeah. I must have done something wrong.
I got 25832.
Okay, so we got the same thing. All right. Then it says, so again, quite a bit more than what we thought we were going to pay for the car. Then we're going to put a down payment on it. The down payment is money we get to subtract off that total. So we're going to subtract off $2,500. When we do that, we get $23,332. So the price that we would take our loan out for, gentlemen, would be $23,332. Okay. So tell me some pros and cons to owning a new car to a used car. Anybody think of some pros for a new car?
It's new.
It's new. That's kind of a no-brainer, right? What else?
I found a
Lower
Nissan.
miles.
Lower miles. I like that. Thank you. Anything else?
It smells good.
Yeah, it probably does smell good. How about a...
There's like no problem.
Probably, well, if it's new, probably better gas mileage.
I think a con of owning a new car is the sheer amount of money that it costs for you to buy a new car. So a new car is clearly more expensive than a used car. And maybe another thing that is kind of a con for a new car is how fast it's going to depreciate. Meaning it's going to lose its value very quickly. One of the things, though, that's also good about a new car, though, is a warranty. Where if you need repairs done, that's going to be covered under the warranty. What about pros and cons for a used car?
Well, the pro is that it's probably cheaper.
Yeah, cheaper.
Cons is that you might not know, like, what's wrong with it.
Yeah, and it probably is going to have over some time for some repairs for sure, huh? So I think that there's pros and cons to doing both. I've actually never bought a brand new car before. I bought some that have been like a half a year old, but I've never bought a brand new one before. So, and the only reason that I wouldn't buy a brand new car is because, like I said, they depreciate so quickly. So it's nice to have some of that depreciation already taken care of by somebody else having driven it for a little bit of time.
It'll still depreciate when you buy it off of someone else.
You're right, it does. Yeah. All right, so whether or not you should buy or lease, even more cost to consider. Insurance, fuel, vehicles depreciation. Just a kind of a little thing to show you here about the cost of insurance in the United States. And this is not super accurate, but it shows a good idea. I mean, I don't want to say it's not super accurate, but my children don't pay quite this amount of money is what I'm saying. So, but you have to remember that this is an average. Car insurance vary greatly depending on the car and you. You are legally required to insure your vehicle in Utah. There's a minimum $400 fine for a first-time offender and a driver's license suspension. So if you're pulled over and you don't have insurance on your car, you're supposed to have a $400 fine and have your driver's license suspended. So this is the way that this chart works. If you're 18 years old, they say on average, Americans pay $6,456 a year on car insurance. I think that's kind of high. because if you divide that number by 12, then you're $537 a month. And I've never had to pay that kind of money for vehicle insurance before.
I only pay $150.
Yeah, so you pay $150 a month. Do you have your own plan, or are you on your mom and dad's plan?
I have my own.
Okay. So my son's is not quite $150 a month. It's closer to about $120, but he's on my plan. So
Mine's on 70.
yours is 170?
No, 70.
Oh, like 70. Yeah. Do you have your own plan, or are you on your parents' plan? Okay, so your parents' plan helps. Now, did you know that girls are automatically cheaper than boys when they're first driving?